It's about time for a new video, I think. It's been about 40 pounds in God knows how many weeks. Today, let's talk about some of the things that have happened in my life and some of the things I have fallen in love with. Well, college starts in a couple of weeks. It's a new college. It's about 30 miles that way from the one I used to go to. It's pretty damn big. I'm pretty damn excited and pretty damn freaked out. But who isn't during the weeks leading up to college starting? I'm very excited to start learning again. I'm very excited to start, getting into the groove of education again. I want to be an educator, but you kind of lose the spark when you're not around that environment of people, just, the stress and the happiness and just this wonderful mishmash of emotions that is college, especially when I'm about to experience it on a mid-level college area, because my college is mainly for commuters. So there's going to be a lot of people on campus during hot hours, but then there's going to be parts where it probably feels like a community college. We'll see. But the problem with that is I need a car to get to it, and here we go. Let's give you a lesson of how my car works. See, there's a belt that goes around the engine that powers by the engine, and then the alternator hits that belt, and then that belt runs by the air conditioning system, because who wouldn't want to use free energy? That belt is already turning the alternator, might as well turn the compressor for the AC, right? Right. So, what happens if your current air compressor, one just installed by a mechanic last year, starts knocking and threatens to lock up, thus rubbing the belt on the pulley? You replace the goddamn thing. A mechanic will do it for $600. The parts are $200. So, before college starts, I'm going to become a minor expert in the air conditioning systems of a 1991 Chevrolet Camaro RS 5.0 V8. Hopefully I can, fix the damn thing. So, what are some things I've fallen in love with? Olan Rogers is a YouTuber who I've been subscribed to for, I don't know, a year, maybe more. But something awesome came into my life, which is this poster. One day I log on to Tumblr, I see that he is going to be selling these craft paper posters featuring an awesome quote from the documentary Eat a Slice With Me, a documentary you should go check out if you have seen any of his videos before. I've seen it probably 15 times. It still gets to me. I know someone who still cries when they see it. You know who you are. But the whole point is he's selling this quote from his documentary with a signature. That little squiggly right there over my thumb. Olan Rogers signed that thing and stuck an emoticon on it. And he signed like 200 or 300 of those and sold them for like $10. It was entirely because he wanted to give his fans something they could afford and that he could produce quickly, and still he made enough of a profit off it to help pay off a mortgage on the new building that he's using to sell his apparel in. So everyone gets something great out of it in this situation. I am so glad to own this piece of YouTuber content. If you haven't checked out his YouTube channel before, go check it out. Pretty much it's just a 20-something guy with great stories to tell who just tells you stories. He also is a filmmaker, and he has an apparel company. These three things mix, but they don't define each other. I didn't know he had an apparel company. I know some people who I had to tell that. He doesn't shove his content in your face. He lets you take it as you take it. And as far as other awesome things, I got to go to Welcome to Night Vale Live for the Librarian tour this spring semester, I think it was. I had to drive a very long way. I almost didn't make it in time. I had some questions as to how Welcome to Night Vale translates to being live, and they were all answered. If you would like to get a taste of how Welcome to Night Vale works live, you can go to welcometonightvale.bandcamp.com, where they upload the scripts of Welcome to Night Vale's live shows, re-recorded with some of the live stuff cut out, like reading horoscopes to the audience, and essentially make them non-canon episodes of Welcome to Night Vale, which you can also donate money to when you download them. You can pay a penny, you can pay $1,000. Whatever you want to do to support Welcome to Night Vale would be great. The Librarian script was supposedly going to be put onto their Bandcamp, but I think after that tour, they started doing a lot of crossover episodes with the Thrilling Adventure Hour, another amazing podcast, by the way, and they haven't really gotten the time to do it, or maybe they're going to adapt the Librarians to be part of the plot. I don't know. Either way, if you ever get a chance to listen to the episode, The Librarian, it's very well done. it is probably one of my favorite actual plots of Night Vale. Not just that it was live, but it was a really well-written plot. Also, as far as reading goes, I would highly suggest, if you like nonfiction written in a fictional style, the book Sex on the Moon by this text right here is a fun little read. It's about a guy who stole a ton of moon rock samples from NASA. If you like NASA, if you like the idea of reading about the kind of people who work at NASA or are trying to work at NASA, and about a heist that stole so much, valuable illegal property from NASA, and the FBI sting that took him down. Fun read. Another book I picked up merely because of the title is Exploding the Phone by Phil Lapsley. During the 60s and 70s, there were these people known as phone freaks who hacked the phone grid. They figured out how to make tiny devices that made dial tones and so forth that would allow them to access the long-distance network, making free calls without actually being told for it. It was pretty damn cool, and I like the idea of reading about these. I'm not really huge into counterculture stuff, really, but this is one of the things I find interest in, and Exploding the Phone does a great job of leading up to talking about some of the phone freaks. Because not only does it talk about the guys who are accessing the phone network and learning about it as they access it, it goes back in time and starts at the beginning of phones, telegraph, and works its way forward. So not only are you learning about these people, you're learning about how the grid got to be where it could be hacked. I'm only, an eighth into the book, and it's pretty solid, and I like it so far. So I would suggest checking this out if you like the idea of phone freaks in general. Sex on the Moon was fun. And also, I've been cheating my read 25 books in a year thing by kind of turning through some graphic novels. Deadpool is in a resurgence of popularity at the moment, and I love it because it allows me to talk about Deadpool more, and I freaking love Deadpool. I can't stand comic book culture sometimes because the whole find out next week thing in something that has like 20 pages, it just doesn't do it for me anymore, man. I used to like comics like that, but now Sandman and The Watchmen, like these things, they have splash pages and they have find out next time. But reading them in graphic novel form allows me to actually enjoy the fucking story instead of going, oh no, big twist. Oh no, that happened. Oh no, that person has massive breasts. It's just reading a fucking story. And that's why I love Deadpool so much, because it does have all that, oh no, but it also makes fun of it constantly. It never lets up, especially in the new run written by Brian Posehn starting with Dead Presidents. If you want to get into Deadpool, read the newest run that starts with Brian Posehn as a writer, because that is probably a good entry point. Deadpool has some pretty hardcore serious moments and some sad things. Deadpool Illustrated, the elevator pitch for this is Deadpool goes into the classics to kill everything. Sounds hilarious, but this is probably one of the sadder Deadpool comics I've read in a while, because he just wants to fucking die. Anyway, those are the things I've been reading. That's one of the things I've been listening to. I would also suggest listening to the Thrilling Adventure Hour, Judge John Hodgman, and Oh No, Ross and Carrie. These are podcasts that have taken over my life and have made mowing bearable. It is getting really hot in my room because the computer is venting out a ton of heat. I should stop recording about now. Thanks for checking in, guys. And you know what? Thanks for being you. Sounds cheesy, sounds kind of Mr. Rogers-y and like I'm grasping at straws. But seriously, thanks for watching. You make this worth it. Hopefully I've introduced you to some content today that you can enjoy. Either way, have a good day. Maybe try some ice cream, if you like ice cream. If you don't, or if you're allergic, just forget I said that. Just forget all of it. Except go read Deadpool. We should go read Deadpool.